how has the pandemic affected that? Is there anyone who would like to go first?
Well, one thing I think the pandemic has really affected for me, quite a lot of things. I think one of the things is obviously shops being low of stock. Obviously people really desperate to be buying food, because when the pandemic first hit, everyone was literally panic buying and it was a nightmare. You couldn't get any food in the shelves. Everyone was literally panicking about like when the stores were closing and like when it was all starting to kick off. And so that's another thing, is like shortages of food and like shops having to suffer and that from shortages of stock. I think also the thing that's also hit the pandemic as well is obviously the NHS as well. It's really hit them big time, and all the doctors and nurses having to work through the pandemic and having to treat many cases of the virus. And that's been really upsetting to hear, like people's encounters that they've seen patients dying, and also the fact that another thing it's affected, I think it's affected like vulnerable adults who have got like autistic, like me, who are autistic, who have got other disabilities as well, who have not been able to see, like get out and do stuff and motivate themselves, being stuck in a chair for most of the day, in a wheelchair doing nothing and not being motivated enough. And that's one of the things that's hit the pandemic. The pandemic has caused effects as well.
And so lucky to have this space. I think that's the thing. It's, outdoor spaces, became suddenly so important, I think, over that particular time, because it was a place that, they're places that we are able to be, safely around each other, and they're, vital for that kind of social contact and like community part, I think, isn't it?
Gardening became a really big thing when you saw that massive jump in interest in people wanting to grow their own produce, and wanting to get into gardening as a way of helping their mental health. And I can completely understand that. I mean, that's how I got into gardening with my house, because I couldn't move. I had very limited mobility. I've still got very limited mobility, and I just had to find something else other than exercise, and gardening was my saviour, I guess.
Wow.
Because it, mentally, it's looking after something and you seeing something that you've done and that achievement that you've nurtured it, and it's grown. And I think the benefits are just unexplainable, because it's you with nature, you're connected with the ground, with the earth, and you really can't describe it. It's really sort of bliss, really, because mentally you don't think about anything. The anxiety isn't there, the little mind chatter isn't there at all, and it's a great escape. So it's great.
Thank you.
I think we need to encourage that more. And, with these community spaces, I think it's the way forward, and community projects and being out in nature.
Your wreath making